Welcome to Wild Sun Tarot. This is your monthly energy check-in for the zodiac sign of Aquarius. Welcome Aquarius Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. Today we're gonna check the energy for September. We'll see where you're coming from, your recent energy, your current energy, and we will take a look into your future, okay? We'll also spread it through different areas of your life, through relationships, money, stability, and health, okay? So let's get started. Where you're coming from, Aquarius? What's been happening recently? Six of Wands, Ten of Cups. Wow, that's a really nice energy. And the Wheel, oh, my favorite this year. Okay. So it seems like recently there is this energy of really feeling like you're winning it, you know? Six of Wands, it's when we feel like we're on the right path, when we feel like everything is coming together, you know? So maybe recently you've been achieving something, maybe in your career, in your love life. It feels like you're very fulfilled emotionally, so you may be in a very happy relationship. Maybe recently you even celebrated that relationship in some way or shape or form. It also feels like maybe you've been through some different changes recently. With the Wheel of Fortune is usually when we win in that position, okay? Sometimes it's things that come to us very unexpected, so we're not aware that we're stepping in, but it feels like, damn, it almost feels like you win on the lottery, you know, with all that happiness. I don't want to move forward with this reading, but your recent energy, it's blooming with stability, with emotional stability, with achievements in the workplace or in your day-to-day life, and with the wheel turning in your favor. So it may be that things were happening that were really you weren't expecting, like you weren't sure what's happening, and then it worked out fine in your way, right? Even if you weren't expecting it, even if it wasn't planned, it somehow worked out for your benefit, okay? So damn, that's a really nice energy. You may be in a very happy relationship, or just like in general in family, may have a family. And the Wheel of Fortune, so sometimes Wheel of Fortune, maybe it comes and we're not prepared, or we are not aware that these changes that are coming actually for good. So for some of you, maybe this is how it was so far, and now something is changing and you're a bit scared because you don't want to lose all this happy energy. But always remember that these changes with the Wheel of Fortune, they come because we have the ability to face them, and because we are in the good. You know, you can't always be in the good because that's a bit boring, right? There needs to be some challenges here and there so you can conquer them and go back to this energy of Six of Wands. So far it seems like a very good energy, really good energy. But there's also like a need for change. Maybe you yourself, you want to like move forward, right? You want life to move because it's moving in a good direction, so you want it to continue. So let's see where the current energy is placing us. It feels like your August was pretty nice, Aquarius. So let's continue. For some of you, I get the feeling that maybe you're almost like bored with this energy, with this Wheel of Fortune, the way it's represented, you know? Like you're like, okay, let's continue, you know? Like it's great, but like I want to move. And here we have Three of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, and the Hanged Man. So there is a change coming, and it may require currently for you to change your perspective, okay? So now I feel like you're creating something, whatever it is, a relationship or you know, a business or something you're creating, and you're not alone there. But I don't feel like you feel like you're not able to trust certain people. I feel like your current energy, because with Three of Pentacles and Seven of Swords in this position, it feels like there's like some lack of cooperation, and someone may be only playing for themselves. Okay, maybe you, maybe the other person, and it doesn't feel like it came from the past energy. Maybe because you were doing very well, you've been getting rewards or recognition, and maybe someone doesn't like that. Okay, maybe what happened, or maybe just someone is playing unfair game just because, right? This is just life. So in your current energy, it feels like you will need to change perspective maybe on your surroundings. You know, when very often when we're doing very well in life, this is where we also can see if the people really like that, or do they prefer when we're not succeeding, right? So, you know, we say that the true friends, you get to know them when you're poor, but not only, because when you're doing well, you see who's really happy for you and who wants to, you know, take something for themselves. And I feel like maybe in your energy, you're discovering that some people, they don't really want to help you continue build, but they want to take what you've had. So I would be very, very careful and look up this energy, because that's really what is coming through here. If this is someone who you work with, you may have to be very careful, because it doesn't feel like someone wants to build with you. It feels like someone wants to take the easy way and take from you. So first they want maybe you need to make a different team or check your team, okay? And you know, I wouldn't be surprised if this is someone you trust, because it feels like you have like this good life, a lot of trust, a lot of achievement, and you wouldn't expect this, okay? So this may be someone who you don't expect behaving this way. That's why we have the Hangman, and you need to change your perspective, okay? Change your perspective on what is happening here. Now, for some of you, if this is your energy, don't take the easy way, because it feels like you may be caught, okay? So don't try to steal or trick someone into not doing your work, okay? Because you've been put on a very nice position recently. You don't want to fail from it, okay? So you need to really be an example and be a team player, okay? Yeah, for some of you, maybe you don't want to be a team player because you feel like you're doing more work than the other person. So again, we need to understand what is happening in this dynamic, okay? Because there's some cooperation that is not working. So whichever energy you are, you need to realign, right? To go back to the team. And if the other person is that energy and they don't want to be a team player, you need to address that as well, okay? Maybe it's good to take a step back with the Hangman and like look at this project, this thing you're doing or creating with someone from a different perspective, from farther perspective. Maybe ask others what they think, and that way you will find out what is really happening here, because I feel like you're also not that aware of someone not being on your side or not helping the way that they could or should, okay? So yeah, you see, it's interesting because it's really like shows how well you're doing, and then suddenly someone almost wants to like, they're not happy about how well you're doing, or they want to take something from themselves, okay? And there's this collaboration falling down. Yeah. In some ways, in some relationships, it may be about ego. So someone feel like they deserve more than what you've been giving or what they're receiving from this connection. So for some of you, there may be cheating here as well, although I don't have Three of Cups, but I would, if you suspect that, again, like don't accuse someone if you don't have any suspicions, but if you feel like your partner is lying to you, check them, right? Check them on those lies and see what's happening, because someone doesn't want to be a team player anymore, and it may be about your work, and maybe about your relationship, and I don't know why, but they just try to, they're not being honest with you. So it's important to acknowledge this, okay? Always remember that this type of energy comes from the insecurity, right? Not from Six of Wands and Ten of Cups. This is energy of love and respect, and someone working for the achievements they have. Seven of Swords is someone who wants to take the easy way, and it's because they don't feel like they can build what Six of Wands has. So you can deal with that, don't worry. Let's just be careful and then again address if you feel like someone is not being fair. The Temperance. I didn't want this card. I didn't want this card, Aquarius. Okay, so like I cannot lie to you. With these Seven of Swords and then Three of Cups and the Hierophant in the reverse and the Devil in the reverse. For some of you, you may suspect that your partner is cheating, and yeah, most likely they are. If you're suspecting that, if you have some evidence, I can see it here as well. There's some third party here. There's the devil energy and the Hierophant in the reverse. It feels like a broken or unhealthy commitment. You see, that's why I don't like to go deep, because we started with 10 of Cups and how we find ourselves here. How we found ourselves here. For some of you, okay? Not everyone. But even if this is not a relationship, it feels like soon you will realize that there's some commitment that is unfair and that may look fun, but it's actually not good for you in terms of, being not giving you like the fulfillment you initially had, being like attached to you to gain, not to give, right? Someone is maybe just using you for their own happiness and not really caring about how you feel. And it doesn't have to be only romantic. It can be like in job. Someone may be just using you because you're doing a great job, because you're achieving, right? But they don't. For some of you, I feel like this is someone who like when they see you're achieving, they're like that doesn't excite them as much when you feel bad or miserable, because that's when they can like have you with them, so like this is this unhealthy attachment where someone knows that when you're down they can have you, right? But if you're achieving something, they feel scared to lose you, so they're just trying to create that mess. Oh wow. Okay, so let's focus once again on the current energy. In the current energy, you need to really realize who's your ally, who's your friend, and who doesn't have your best interest in mind, okay? Because soon, I feel like you will be ending ties. And don't get me wrong, with the Temperance, like, it's not a bad energy. This is just a cleanup, and you need this because you don't want to be surrounded by fake people, okay? Or people who, fake people who cheat on you, who lie to you, and stuff like that. So you are doing like a big checkup, okay? It may be also unconventional. Maybe you will need to do something that it's not in the realm of the way you were raised, okay? Like, I don't know, divorce, for example, right? Or trying yourself in a different environment, in different business and stuff like that. Maybe that's unconventional for you, but it feels like you need to change. Like, you are realigning, you're stepping in onto a new path, okay? The path you were walking on is ending and you're going on the next path, okay? Because you're seeing that this is not suitable for you. It worked for some time, great. And right now the wheel is coming, the change is coming. You see like, oh, this is the maximum I can do here. So I need to find a new path with really focusing around more honest environment. With the Three of Cups again, it may be that someone is just cheating, like romantic relationship, but it also may be that you need to watch out for any type of environment where people are very like easily swinged by addiction, right? Drinking, because with the Devil and the Three of Cups and the Hierophant in the reverse, I feel like this may be an issue as well. Okay, for some of you, if you have a problem with alcohol, or you're in the environment that you see there's a lot of problem with like slacking on that point, like there's this addiction around, and then they are focusing more on that than really working on themselves, this is a time to realign, okay? Wow, powerful changes coming in, Aquarius, okay? All of that is kind of just realigning you on your path, okay? And don't get me wrong, like for some of you, it doesn't mean that there's like a relationship ending. It may be that just it's the environment. It doesn't have to be your partner, okay? We will see in a moment more closely, but yeah, for majority of you, there for sure needs to be you need to address someone who's not being honest with you. That's 100%. That needs to happen, okay? a person or group of people, environment, and you will soon be stepping on a different path. You will be detaching from certain environments that are not suiting for you. And I think currently, as we're having this reading, you need to find a new perspective, because maybe those are things you didn't notice about people, so far. And as you're growing, as you care about different stuff, you have more values, you have things you need to do, you start to see that there are people who are slacking and not really helping you, and then just enjoying themselves, and they enjoy when you are on their level. They don't want you to level up, okay? And you want to, you are with the Temperance. So time for change, Aquarius. Let's see how it shows up in your personal love. Okay, the World. Wow, the Moon. Damn. And Five of Swords. Okay. So with the World, regarding your connections, there's some karmic lessons here, okay? In a way, the World is a break or make a situation, okay? It's when you're learning, you're learning something about your connection, okay? And you are growing out of that aspect. So you can either grow together with that other person, right? Or you can close that chapter completely. It's not a bad card. The World is, again, it's like realigning you with your higher self, right? And if the other person, for example, if you want to be more serious, if you want to create something, if you're ready to take the relationship to the next step, and the other person, they just want to have fun and still be very reckless about their life, why be together, right? This is the time when you're growing apart. For some of you, you are just slightly figuring it out, and you can grow together again, right? So, but you need to address that. You need to address this other person. Because it may be as well that this is a decision that you both are taking to move away to a different environment, right? So it doesn't have to be that you're splitting. I actually don't feel like it is, because I was waiting for this card, honestly. I was waiting for this card with the Three of Cups and Seven of Swords, and I feel like this is really not about relationship cheating. I think this is about the environment, more people than one, okay? I feel like regarding your relationship, it's either you and your partner decide to end one cycle and continue another, or then you can talk about splitting up. But I feel like you're both deciding to just go to a next level, and separate yourself from things that are not serving you. It may be that either you or the other person just recently learned something deeper within themselves, healed something, and now it can bring the connection farther. With the Moon, when it comes to your finances, this can be about a job. Someone is not being honest, and there are things you're not saying. There's people who want to trick you, okay, in your current position. So this is really serious. I want you to take it seriously and really check the people who manage your money, people who are in with you on the projects, people who could steal from you or could make your career go down. They're sabotaging you, okay? Because you're in a very bad position, and someone doesn't like that, clearly, with the Moon card. Someone is playing, and this may be as well a person who you think helped you, like the wolf in that fairy tale. They are wearing a false mask, okay? So you have to be extra careful, extra sensitive to this stuff, Change the perspective. Those are not people who you think they are. Aquarius, you need to really think about this. And when it comes to and I think maybe because this card come up in your mental space and yourself, how you reflect on all of this, I think that for some of you, you just don't want to argue. You don't want to point fingers. You don't want to have a conflict. But guess what? Maybe it will be necessary, the conflict, okay? You need to focus on yourself and fight for yourself, for your good, especially if someone is harming you, intentionally or not. We don't care. They're harming you, and you need to check them, okay? But for some of you, you may be really scared of confrontation. Maybe you don't like confrontation. Maybe you don't know what to say. Maybe you don't know how to fight for yourself, make your own boundaries, okay? This is all you have to work on to not your hard work. You are working really hard for this status. Why would you let it go right now? You need to address this, these wolves that are here. So yeah, for some of you, you may have headaches, a bit strong headaches these days. Okay, so take care of yourself, and maybe from, you know, just too much on your mind, maybe physical, do all the necessary, what's it called, analysis for it. Okay. Yeah, it maybe you're a bit overwhelmed. But again, this is something that relates to your head space. You need to really take some time off to clear it and to make decisions best for you. Okay, I've tried to think more about Five of Swords. You know, sometimes it can relate to things that were so once again, we were talking about addictions. Sometimes we think that some things are not harming us because we're doing very well, but we know they're not good for our health. You also keep that in mind this month. Okay, and let's go to your advices. Whoops. Okay, so I guess this one. The Emperor. Wow. So he's so funny, because it feels like it's such opposite of this. Like you need to be in charge, okay? And I feel like maybe you don't want to be, in a way. Like you want everyone to be happy and come together and everyone to work, but you need to, at this moment in September, you really need to think about how to protect what you have and put yourself in a leadership position, okay? So step into the role of the Emperor, someone who leads, someone who makes decision, someone who like really like is putting, and I don't want to sound mean, but like putting some people in place, because someone really doesn't want to play on your team because they're jealous, and you need to show them that, listen, it's either you're playing or you're out. And there's no talk around it, okay? The Emperor in this position, you really need to step up your game and own what it's yours, so they don't owe you, okay? So that's the way to go about it. Of course, be polite, be respectful, but don't how to say, make yourself smaller for someone's convenience, okay? You're big right now, and you're in this role. You took that role because you worked for it, and you really need to be extra aware, you know, because like, leadership comes with that, right? With us needing to be extra aware and in our power, and sometimes confrontational, right? In a polite way, but you need to confront some people at the moment. And that's the role you're stepping in. Damn, I'm very proud of you, Aquarius, okay? You need to believe you're stepping in on that role, okay? Let's see some oracle messages. I think this is this is very positive, I think. And yeah, and good for you. You're leveling up. You and your loved ones are safe. Yeah, I don't think there's a cheating in the romantic sense. So everyone calm. You and your loved ones are safe, right? But they're safe because you put them on some level, and you need to continue doing that, okay? Protect, in a way. Protect your position in your life, in your work. So yeah. You don't have to worry extra, right? This is just like a reminder to not, to not get in a position of like, oh no, what now? But be in a position of like, okay, let's see what the situation is. Let's have the facts straight, because I'm not going to let my loved ones or myself down, right? So that's what it is about. Yeah, let's see one more card, one more oracle. Yeah, I feel like you're in your power. I think you got this, Aquarius, okay? Just keep in mind that you need to check these people you work with, and everything will follow through. Learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. Seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. Yeah, bring the unconsciousness to light. Learning how to be human, that's very funny. Yeah, I mean, you know, you've achieved a lot recently. You've put yourself on a different level, and it's harsh to see that sometimes people take advantage of that, right? So you're learning all of this throughout this journey, and it may be hurtful sometimes, but again, there's a lot of potential in you, and just because someone doesn't like what has happened, right, and is trying to to sabotage your achievement doesn't mean that will happen, because you're conscious, you know what's happening, and you need to take charge of your life right now. Sometimes more than ever. Sometimes we think when we make it, that's it, right? But actually, sometimes when we make it, you need to be extra aware and really take the check-in, dive in, to secure where you've come, and that's what you're doing right now. I feel like you're securing where you are. You're getting rid of any problems, any people who don't serve you, and energy that doesn't serve you. Okay. That would be it for today, Aquarius. It seems like a very enlightening future month. You're stepping up, very proud of you, and you need to stay in control. Okay, staying in control with the Emperor. Thank you so much for being here. If you would like a personal reading that is maybe a continuation of this reading, you can write to me an email, or you can comment down below. If you want, you can give a like, you can hit a subscribe. I also do daily reading here on YouTube and on TikTok. And I hope you will have a great month. Really very transformative. Okay? Thank you so much. Bye-bye.